Hey Dreamers, it's Sherri Pullum here, and this is Dreamers Unite Celebrity Edition, bringing you even more inspiration beyond our In the Studio podcast. In this video series, I delve into the narratives of celebrities, unraveling their journey of victories, setbacks, and everything in between. Well, today we're diving into the legendary journey of Wendy Williams. Yes, she is a true trailblazer, and her story has been buzzing across all media outlets since the release of her Lifetime documentary, Where is Wendy Williams? And now that that question has been answered, many of us are left, including me, feeling sad and confused as to her health, her safety, the guardianship, who to believe or not to believe. And then there's been a great deal of backlash in terms of the purpose of the documentary and filming Wendy in her most fragile state. Well, I'll cover a bit more about the documentary later in this video, but for now, here at Dreamers Unite, we want to share her dream journey of not only her turmoil, but also her rise to fame, her achievements, and the legacy she has built. So whether you're a fan or not, Wendy has been a force on the airwaves, dominating both radio and daytime talk TV with her unapologetic style, and her impact on the entertainment industry is certainly undeniable. So strap on your seatbelt and let's delve into Wendy's story and unpack the journey of the woman behind the headlines. Wendy Joan Williams, born July 18th, 1964 in Asbury Park, New Jersey, was the second of three children to Shirley and Thomas Dwayne Williams. Her mother was a special education teacher, while her father was a teacher and school principal who in 1969 became the first Black school administrator in Red Bank, New Jersey. When Wendy was just 5 years old, her family made a significant move to Wayside, New Jersey, after race riots shook Asbury Park in 1970. Wendy's parents instilled in her the values of hard work and perseverance, and that, of course, took Wendy a long way throughout her entire career and her personal life. Even though Wendy dealt with hyperactivity and got teased for being overweight as a kid, she pushed forward, determined to gain confidence. Wendy's parents kept her very busy. She was a Brownie, a Girl Scout. She played the clarinet in the marching band, and she competed on her high school swim team. Now, Wendy said herself that she wasn't necessarily a champion swimmer, but she certainly was good enough to compete on the team. She even volunteered as a candy striper, which was her parents' dream for her to become a nurse. Well, despite being one of the few Black students at Ocean Township High School, Wendy refused to let stereotypes define her. Wendy had a fire within her that couldn't be contained. After high school, Wendy's journey led her to Northeastern University in Boston with dreams of becoming a television anchor. However, less than a month in, she made a bold pivot to radio, much to her parents' disapproval. Yet Wendy knew deep down it was the right move for her, as she freely admitted that she always loved radio.
Loved radio. People who did it: Harry Harrison, Dan Ingram, Cleo, yes, Frankie Crocker, Al Bandero. They all sounded like they had such cool, fabulous lives. They talk about the parties they were going to, and Donna Summers is coming to town, and they'd be at this restaurant and that restaurant. I said, I want to be cool too. There were no women that I could compare what I wanted to be to at that time, because women were soft demeanors. They did overnights. They did The Quiet Storm and shows like this. And my personality definitely isn't this.
At Northeastern, Wendy honed her skills as a DJ for WRBB, the college radio station, where rapper LL Cool J was her first celebrity interview, one of many. In 1986, Wendy graduated with a Bachelor of Arts degree in communication and, to make her parents happy, a minor in journalism. But amidst the glitz and glamour, Wendy faced a dark chapter, revealing in 2021 that, unfortunately, she had been a victim of date rape during her college years. Fresh out of university, Wendy applied for and started at a small station in the U.S. Virgin Islands, but it wasn't quite what she had hoped for. So she started sending out her resumes and demo tapes to other stations, which led her to chase opportunities in Washington, D.C., and in 1987, she landed a gig at WQHT in New York City. It wasn't long before Wendy snagged a full-time spot rocking the overnight shifts. But like many roller coaster careers, she was fired after just 2 years.
I gave 2 weeks notice only one time in my life, and guess what I got out of it? What? Go now, you're fired. I'm like, what? Okay.
After a brief stint at WPLJ, she found her groove at WRKS. She became known for her Dish the Dirt segment, dishing out gossip with her lack of filter, of course, about rappers and celebs, which caused at times the general manager to receive calls demanding for her removal. Those attempts, however, were unsuccessful, and her popularity grew as a radio personality. In 1989, Wendy began working at 98.7 KISS FM in New York City as a fill-in DJ until being hired full-time as part of the station's morning show. A year later, Wendy landed her own 6 to 10 p.m. shift, eventually winning the Billboard Award for Best On-Air Radio Personality in 1993. In 1994, KISS FM switched Wendy to the company's Hot 97 format. Well, Wendy was on fire. She didn't just report the gossip, she lived it. She hit up the parties, soaked in the buzz, and spilled it all on air.
So I was like, come down to the party.
And he just showed up.
Because he knows where the party's at.
She even had this segment called Ask Wendy, where she dished out advice to teens, which she kept that Ask Wendy segment even in her TV talk show. But life wasn't all smooth sailing. She began battling a cocaine addiction during this time, a struggle she openly shares with her audience. Her controversial remarks and her first high-profile feud with Tupac in the mid-90s helped to skyrocket Wendy's ratings. Well, Wendy wasn't just a radio star. She was diving into the online world, too. She set up a website, GoWendy.com, where she'd post celeb gossip and pics. Well, it was a hit, pulling in 100,000 views daily. Well, things got dicey when she put up this photoshopped pic of Diddy on her site, and the station wasn't having it, and Diddy wasn't either. She got suspended, not once, but twice, for stirring up drama online. Eventually, she was let go from Hot 97 in 1988. Still, Wendy wasn't afraid to push boundaries, even if it meant ruffling feathers. Despite the drama, Wendy bounced back from setbacks, landing a gig at Power 99 FM in Philly, where she made waves at WUSL Power 99 FM, turning the station's ratings around faster than you could say Gossip Queen. Amidst the whirlwind, Wendy found love with her second husband, Kevin Hunter, when the two met at an ice skating rink in '94 and got together after Wendy's divorce in 1995. The couple tied the knot on November 30th, 1997, in a civil ceremony in New Jersey. Now, here's a quick note that Wendy's first marriage to husband Bert Jerry Gorey lasted for only 5 months. They were divorced in 1995. And on her TV show, Wendy openly shared how she knew marrying Bert was not the right thing for her to do. Okay, back to Kevin and Wendy. Wendy and Kevin's marriage, spanning nearly 22 years, began as a beautiful love story. But it wasn't without heartache. Wendy bravely shared her struggles with miscarriages and personal battles on air. In 2000, the couple proudly welcomed their only child, Kevin Hunter Jr., and they navigated both personal and professional realms intertwined. Kevin, as Wendy's manager, agent, and executive producer of her Wendy Williams show, was a vital part of her success. Wendy revealed in her 2003 memoir, Wendy's Got the Heat, that she chose to stay with Kevin after he cheated on her in 2000 after the birth of their son. In an interview in 2013 with Vlad TV, she explained, "But I love him and he loves me, and we addressed it head on." So Wendy remained steadfast, believing their bond only grew stronger after confronting the affair. By 2001, Wendy wasn't just a radio personality. She was a proud mom, a loving wife, and a force to be reckoned with, turning her trials into triumphs. From 2001 to 2008, Wendy was back on the New York airwaves, serving up her signature blend of sass and scandal on WBLS, with MC Spice adding his unique flair to the mix. The show was a hit, earning praises from the New York Times for its juicy confessions and sharp commentary. By 2008, her radio show was syndicated in various markets across the country. Wendy was everywhere, dishing out gossip and relationship advice with her trademark gusto. Well, Wendy continued to spark some of the most turbulent moments in interview history. From her infamous showdown with Whitney Houston in 2003 to her clash with Method Man in 2006, Wendy's interviews have always been a roller coaster ride of emotions. But it's not just those headline-grabbing moments that defined her. Whether it's her fiery exchanges with Judge Mathis, Mariah Carey, Omarosa, Keke Palmer, Foxy Brown, or Destiny's Child, Wendy refused to back down from her fearless interviewing style. Love her or not, Wendy has undoubtedly left an indelible mark on the world of entertainment. She unapologetically spilled the tea on others and served up her own secrets and struggles on a silver platter. As direct as she could be, she also managed to reconcile with some of her guests like Omarosa, Judge Mathis, and Mariah Carey. In 2008, Wendy took her star power to the small screen with the Wendy Williams Show, which led to a national broadcast deal with Fox and international airing on BET. With an average of 2.4 million viewers daily, Wendy became a household name and one of the leading female hosts in daytime television.
You say it like this, and I'm going to teach you, and then we're going to go to the Queen of Sheba. Look, you dim your eyes like this. And when you get to the end of doing, you spread your bottom lip. I'll do it once, and then go to my website, and you can take lessons. Okay, look. How you doing?
How you doing? All right, I couldn't resist. All right, so still, Wendy desired more than just talk shows. She dipped her toes into hosting the game show Love Triangle and appeared on Drop Dead Diva and Dancing with the Stars. Wendy showcased her talent in the Broadway musical Chicago, earning praise for her portrayal as matron Mama Morton.
No, I don't have time to dilly-dally with. I'm late. This is so much.
And she delved into the film industry with roles like Think Like a Man and its sequel. In 2013, Wendy and Kevin launched Wendy Williams Productions, focusing on unscripted content. She produced shows like Celebrities Undercover and a controversial biopic about the life of the late and great artist Aaliyah. Explaining that she wanted the story to be honest and tastefully done, Wendy defended making the film, even against Aaliyah's family and the fans' wishes.
Lifetime, don't mess this movie up. This is what you need to do. Like 3 days later, no lie, ring, ring, the phone at Wendy Williams Production.
Just like that.
We want you to be on board. Boom!
Wendy also dove into reality TV with her own documentary series, Death by Gossip, on the ID channel based on true crime stories, with, of course, some gossip intertwined. And if that's not enough, Wendy is a New York Times best-selling author with a number of books under her name, including Wendy's Got the Heat, detailing her personal journey from childhood struggles to addiction battles and marriages, The Wendy Williams Experience, which brims with juicy celebrity gossip and interviews, and her advice book, Ask Wendy. She also co-wrote several fiction books, including the Ritz-Harper Chronicles. She also wrote Hold Me in Contempt in 2014 and The Horse in 2015. Despite all of her success and her commitment to remaining authentically herself, Wendy's resilience would again be put to the test. Between 2017 and 2021, Wendy faced a roller coaster of personal and professional challenges. In October of 2017, while hosting her Halloween show in a Statue of Liberty costume, Wendy fainted on air in front of the world due to dehydration. Surprisingly, after a short break, Wendy was back on the air, and when asked why she didn't let her body rest during a Good Morning America interview, well, Wendy said, "I'm not your average talk show host, and it's a pretty special thing to be a Wendy Williams." And in Wendy Williams fashion, she went on to say that her goal was to fall pretty and not to bust her head wide open. And thankfully, she managed to do both. Well, soon after that, Wendy disclosed her battle with Graves' disease, a condition that she had been dealing with for years. Despite her health struggles, Wendy remained resilient, even rocking her signature wigs, which, by the way, she does have a wig line, to help her cope with her hair thinning caused by her thyroid condition. But the struggles kept coming. Wendy fractured her shoulder in 2018, battled vertigo, and revealed her diagnosis of lymphedema, causing swelling in her ankles. After never missing a day of work, these health issues forced her to take multiple breaks from hosting her show, leaving fans worried about her well-being. On a personal front, Wendy faced heartbreak as her marriage with Kevin Hunter crumbled. In 2019, she filed for divorce after Hunter fathered a child with another woman. Although the divorce was finalized in 2020, Wendy's legal surname remains Hunter. And of course, her professional name is certainly Wendy Williams. She has talked about she will never give that up. In 2019, Wendy revealed to her viewers with tears in her eyes that she's been living in a sober house. The COVID-19 pandemic added yet another layer of complexity. In May of 2020, Wendy hosted her show remotely, and she battled fatigue from Graves' disease. She returned to the studio that September, and a month later, she competed on The Masked Singer as Lips.
Oh my goodness! Wendy Williams!
But unfortunately, health concerns persisted, and in the summer of 2021, Wendy took a hiatus from her show due to ongoing health issues, leaving fans awaiting her return as a number of guest hosts filled in. Sadly, in June of 2022, the Wendy Williams show bid farewell as Wendy faced ongoing health struggles. But her challenges didn't stop there. Earlier that year in January, her bank Wells Fargo froze her assets, sparking a legal battle over guardianship. After the bank received notice from Wendy's financial advisor, Lori Schiller, that the TV host is of unsound mind, Wells Fargo froze Wendy's bank accounts and petitioned the court to have her placed under a temporary financial guardianship, citing risks of financial exploitation, dementia, or undue influence in the court filing. In 2023, Wendy and her family also received a devastating diagnosis of aphasia and frontotemporal dementia, leading her to seek care in a cognitive facility.
The 59-year-old has been diagnosed with dementia and aphasia. The news coming just before the release of a Lifetime two-part documentary chronicling how her diagnosis is impacting her and her family.
In spite of Wendy's health condition, Wendy was ready to embark on a new venture, launching a podcast, which brings us back to the documentary, which began filming in August of 2022. Now, the documentary reportedly was meant to celebrate Wendy's comeback with a new podcast, but instead, the Lifetime series gives intimate glimpses into Wendy's life, detailing her daily battles and physical, emotional, and alcohol struggles since she last hosted her show in 2021. A really hard thing for all of us to watch, especially since most of us believe that Wendy would not want to be portrayed that way or seen that way in her most fragile state. Now, while some argue the documentary sheds light on guardianships and dementia, as the family claims that that's their intention, like her sister, her son, her niece, others, like her ex-husband, Kevin, and colleague Charlemagne the God, believe it simply is to exploit Wendy. And many of her fans believe that too. So, some of the producers even are backtracking, saying they would not have filmed Wendy if they had known she had
They like
dementia.
the fact that they were there with her almost every day to kind of keep an eye on her. And you can tell in the documentary that she does very much want to be back in front of the spotlight. It's where she's best, where she's herself. And they became concerned that she would really decline if they stepped away. But they finally decided to take a step back when the diagnosis of dementia was made known to them.
Well, I think you could see when the cameras were rolling that there was something going on deeper, as they said, than alcoholism. And of course, they could have stopped at any time. Hopefully this film will bring some light and some goodness. I hope for Wendy's sake, and I hope maybe for someone else's sake, maybe who is suffering from dementia or this guardianship. I really do hope it brings about some good. Well, I happen to be reading this heartwarming article by Yasmin Ramos, who said she was crushed after seeing the documentary. She was Wendy Williams' senior producer, who fondly recalls her by saying, "I remember being backstage watching TV monitors that allowed us to watch the show in real time, looking at Wendy with admiration." Reflecting on her journey from a production assistant to a senior producer, Yasmin acknowledges that Wendy's unwavering support allowed her to thrive and excel in her role. And she also went on to say, if she could talk to Wendy, she'd say, "Wendy, you left your mark on this world. There's no rush to get back on TV. You did that." And you know what, Yasmin? I agree with you. She did that. She did. In 2009, Wendy was inducted into the National Radio Hall of Fame. And in 2019, she received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, playfully remarking, "I guess I showed them." Yeah, Wendy, you did. And in May of 2021, Wendy was honored with her own wax figure at Madame Tussauds in New York City. And now a street in Asbury Park where she grew up bears her name, Wendy Williams Way. Along with Kevin, Wendy also launched the Hunter Foundation in 2014 as a nonprofit that provides resources for drug education, prevention, and rehabilitation programs. So necessary, Wendy. Keep on giving back. Known as the Queen of all media, Wendy Williams boasts an illustrious 30-year career, carving out her niche as a fearless gossip queen, captivating audiences with her candor, wit, humor, and charm. From radio to 13 seasons of hosting daytime TV, to films, to Broadway, to New York Times best-selling author, to supporting those who battle addiction, Wendy has made a lasting mark and also an indelible mark in the hearts of many. It hasn't always been a smooth ride, but undoubtedly, Wendy is the proud owner of it all. Wendy has been outspoken and hasn't shied away from sharing her truth about her life's ups and downs. My hope and prayer is that Wendy will be healthy, capable, and have the opportunity to once again share her truth in the way she chooses, and that her story will offer hope and inspirations to others facing similar battles. So Wendy, here's to you. We're praying for you here at Dreamers Unite, and so many fans and so many others are praying for your health and for your well-being. May your new path be filled with abundance, love, peace, and joy. All right, dreamers. And that now wraps up our deep dive into Wendy Williams' roller coaster of a dream journey ride. I hope you enjoyed this video. And of course, if you like it, be sure to subscribe for more inspiring content. I always welcome you to share your thoughts, your dreams, or your favorite Wendy Williams moment in the comments, because in this community, every voice truly does matter. So until next time, keep dreaming, keep shining, and keep soaring to new heights. Remember, dreams are like stars. You may not always see them, but you know they're there. Dream big, dream bold, and know that your dream matters.